switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp. I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo. I got tattoos on my face, I use that as motivation. I can never get a job, so for my dream I'm dedicated. For a second, lost myself, I was too busy getting busy. Now they see me out in public and be knowing what my name is. All these rappers want the clout and the life of being famous. I just wanna be stable, tell my family we made it. I was coming for my spot, a young had to be patient. Now I'm running up, these bands can hit the island for vacation. I've been on my haters, you could say I'm constipated. 5 racks on his fit, just to stunt while I'm in Vegas. On my body, shout out to my Caleb Young. Got the cake up, now wanna data. I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo.
Thank you, Coach. We are about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals. The veteran kicker, Robbie Gould, set to get us started. These folks are ready, and we are underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. That's going to set him back 5 yards. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game.
Now let's go. Green 3.
Johnson on the counter. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Hot.
Vic to throw it. Dancing to his left. Now he's going to send this one deep right side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Fielded just inside the 30. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense now with a short field ahead. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. '49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mariota. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he takes this across the 15 to the 17. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down. They pitch it out to Johnson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
For those who watch the game and want to question the courage of the guys who play on the corner, how about when you see a toss sweep coming your way, yet you still go into the backfield, get past the blockers, and make the tackle? That's big league.
Detroit! Detroit!
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Gun! Set! 319! 319! Hot!
On 3rd down, Vick. Being chased out left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Solomon Thomas in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. They will indeed go for it. Vick. Over the middle to Smith. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Following the interception here, Mariota. His throw caught at about the 5. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Let's go.
On 1st and goal, Collins. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal. Now Mariota. And that is incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin, and it's 3rd down.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Now I would be surprised if they go for it. 3 points is not ideal. It's not what they want, but it's still only the first half. Take the 3 points and move on.
They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now they'll give it to the first option. That's their fullback. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on third down.
Now's a good chunk of yardage picked up there. And the big fella, sometimes he doesn't need a whole lot of space created. He can make his own way.
On third, here's an option play right. He may try and run for this. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Oh, look at this play call. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's a first down run with Collins. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Play action now. Mariota. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And it's complete. It's Alex Collins. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. Mariota. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And a return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
As much football as we watch, we've seen this work many times. In the red zone, first down, take a shot at the end zone, and points result. In this case, though, give credit to the defense. They outguessed them, were prepared, and intercepted the pass.
Watch it now, Barney!
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Second down, Vic. Steps away to his left. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smell. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. That one goes for 36 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some space here. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Mariota. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be a 2nd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Trying to punch it in with Collins. And across the goal line, into the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. Alex Collins with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. Gold now out to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. Ware breaking the tackle. And it'll be a terrific return here as he gets it down all the way inside the 30.
But whatever the relationship was between the special teams and the offense, it's gotten a heck of a lot closer after a return like that. The special teams just keep setting them up. The offense thinks they'll go out there and knock them down.
The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Eluding the pressure right. Underneath for Johnson. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone.
Vic on 3rd and 2. And this is going to be incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it.
Detroit! Detroit!
Vic now. Forced out to his left. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
They'll begin the drive with Collins. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Remain here in the first half. More from the desert after this. They go play action. Mariota. Cruz has it over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The result, a first down, as a quick slant gets him 14. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Mariota now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Off the play fake, Mariota. Buying time to his left. Now he'll throw. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. And oh my goodness, this is nowhere close. Well to the right and no good. Gold now out to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So out now come the Cardinals. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
To throw, Vic. Dancing to his left. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. And the 49ers going to take another timeout, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and forever. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. Oh, nice move. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. As they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Here comes the Cardinals punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A first down throw for Mariota. Escaping the pressure right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Final play of the half here. Mariota being chased out left. And now he'll let this one go deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA. Well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Mariota now to throw on first down. Drops it underneath for Collins. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Working out of the gun, Mariota finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Well, that wasn't exactly a work of art, was it?
No, that wasn't a thing of beauty. This is why I don't play in points per reception fantasy league.
Is that what they call
receiver
PPR?
still gets a point there. Yeah. And you went that far back. No bueno.
Well, I'll tell you what. I wish I had their defense on my fantasy game.
On third down, Mariota. He sets to fire deep. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. They're indeed going. It's Mariota. Flushed out right. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off with great anticipation. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Now, check. Patriot! Patriot!
Now they try the right side here. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And they get 10 yards there and convert on third.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive.
Now, check. Patriot! Patriot!
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. On the toss, here's Johnson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On third down, Vic out of the gun. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you got it go.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Mariota. And this one is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Niners on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. From the gun, Mariota. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 29. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
What we're seeing from the defense here is a group of guys bearing down, trying to help out their quarterback after he threw an interception. Good stops on the first 2 downs. It brings up a key 3rd down.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Here's Johnson, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And Johnson on an island by himself in the backfield. 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
Hurry up, here we go. 3:19. 3:19.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cards use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. McManus's point after is good, and the lead will shrink to 6. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means it might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The tackle there by Patrick Peterson. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
On 2nd down, Collins. Great move, but still wrangled before reaching the 20. Robert Kimdichie, the one to bring him down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. That is caught at the 7. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Throwing is Mariota. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
got you now, Barney. Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go. 3:19.
Vic operating on first down. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Solomon Thomas, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Vic on second down. Now he's forced out left. Over the middle to Smith. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now here's Vic. Flush to his right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. DeForest Buckner able to drop him for a loss of a couple. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Cardinals on third down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is third down and 12. They'll set up to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Steps away to his left. Now he's going to throw deep back over the middle. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. On fourth down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, fourth down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Now a second down throw for Mariota. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They pitch it out to Collins. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. They go again with Collins. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. Play action, Mariota. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 9 big yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
There he goes inside the 30. And finally taken down at the 15. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Niners, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Arizona, it's their first stumble of the season as they'll dip to 8-1 on the year. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.